Peace, peace, everyone. It's your girl Sequoia Blue back in here with another episode on this beautiful Thursday. Grateful to be here. We got a special guest today. We got Tai Goodwin. She's a marketing extraordinaire, and she's an award-winning instructional designer, author, speaker, marketing strategist, CEO of that marketing team. She's a former teacher turned entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience marketing online. Can't make that up. What got you into this? Like, what were you thinking when you were a teacher and saying, "Let me get into the marketing game"?
Well, you know what? I left teaching because I wanted more freedom and flexibility. That was the main piece. I love teaching. I still teach, but I didn't like being part of a system that I didn't agree with. Number one, about the bureaucracy of education in America and all that kind of stuff. But I also didn't like the fact that I couldn't go to the bathroom when I needed to.
Mm, that part.
And and I couldn't like take a day off without feeling like super guilty, and you had to be in the classroom all the time. I just, I said enough is enough. And but actually, and I did go into corporate, for a number of years after that. But what got me into this entrepreneurship gig was my daughter. So I've been in it 20 years. And I know that because I started when she was born. My plan was to be home with her, and I have to go back to a day job. Now, it didn't quite work out that way, but that's what started it all.
Wow, that is amazing. Because a lot of times people are so scared to follow their calling, follow their
Mm,
passion and stuff. But
yeah.
you said, "I'm gonna do this anyway, and I'm gonna figure out how to make this work so I can spend time with my daughter." What were some of the steps you started with to get your business off the ground? Like, is it like
Mhm.
if somebody doesn't have the money, let's say too, but let's start with the person that has the money. What would the person do with the money?
Oh my gosh. You know, with the money, I think you have to really invest in marketing. And I'm not just saying it because I'm a marketer. I'm saying that because, social media has gotten a lot of us fooled that, oh, social media is free. So I'm going to do all of my marketing for free. You're still competing with people that have money. You're still competing with people that are paying for marketing strategy. And so if you are not and prepared to make an investment in your marketing, you're not having a marketing budget, you're not thinking about it, you're always going to have a hard way to go. So I would invest in getting somebody that has a really good marketing background and can do real marketing strategy. And I want to stress this. I love VAs. I've got 2 VAs on my team right now, but a VA is not a marketing strategist. So they can do the stuff, but they don't always know like why and what, so that's a whole other thing. If you don't have the money, the first thing is you got to get really clear about what problem you're going to solve, and you got to find some people who will pay you to solve it. And that's at the crux of anything, right? I see a lot of people who just, oh, I love doing X, Y, and Z. Well, that's great. Who's going to pay you to do it?
That's a
Not your
fact.
friends, not your cousins, not the people that follow you and like you on Facebook. You need some real people that are going to pay real money, or else you don't have a business.
You know what? That's a whole fact. And that's what people gotta understand. You see so much on social media and you see people saying, I started a shirt line, and opened my Shopify, and then the next day I made $1 million. I made this. And it's like people get so hyped and they be like, all right, I could do this too. But
Yeah.
they didn't put no marketing behind it, no money. And sometimes they leave out the fact that they might have spent 2 grand to get it that way. Now
Hmm.
I talked to one girl one time and she made a lot of money and I said, "Hey, tell me the real deal." I inboxed her and she actually replied. Some people don't. And she
Yeah.
said, "I did spend 2,500 in Facebook ads." She said, "In order to get what I have." I said,
Hmm.
"Okay." But I felt like she could tell the people that too, but I
Yeah.
know that that's another form of marketing for YouTube. Let me get you to click this video as fast as possible.
And then listen, when they click the video, you can tell them, but be truthful.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of flukes out there. And I just wrote a post the other day about how it's like, so your audience may remember Chris Rock in New Jack City, Pookie.
Mhm.
Remember when he was chasing that high?
Oh, that was
And
funny.
that's what a lot of people experience. They have a fluke, right?
Mhm.
And it doesn't even have to be on social media, which there's a lot of flukes on social media. It could be like, I met somebody at an event and they gave me a $5,000 deal. And so now you're chasing that. I'm going to get
Yeah.
another person. I'm going to go to another networking event and another networking event.
Yeah.
I'm going to make another reel and another reel and another reel. And it's like you're literally chasing a high. Those flukes are not to be substituted for marketing strategy and for business strategy. They happen once in a blue moon. They happen once every 10,000 people, because I promise you, for every person that spent $5 on a Facebook ad and made $1 million, or even made $10,000, there's a 10,000 people that did not have that experience.
Hmm.
Right? So you
Yep.
really have to put that in perspective.
Yeah, and I noticed there is a certain strategy to it because because I took a course last year for via
Hmm.
Coursera, which y'all should check that out. It's free. And I took it and I said I wasn't doing my strategy correctly in the past. And I
Hmm.
noticed that I wasn't targeting correctly. I wasn't doing things right. And I was like, that's why I didn't win. And so it's not you can have the money, but you can still not win because you don't know what you're doing. So, but when I fixed the strategy towards the end of last year, guess what? I made sales. My
There
card
you
game is
go.
selling. It's selling every month now.
Uh-huh.
And and it's almost like you don't even have to spend money every month because now the word is getting out because you just spent money on this thing. Then you
Hmm.
start using UGC creators and certain things to
Yeah.
because sometimes they can probably say it better than you. They might have a different little
Hmm.
swag going on. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's okay to hire a UGC creator, and that's one of the marketing strategies I think is essential is
Hmm.
maybe if it's a product. Now if it's
Hmm.
coaching or getting leads, now that's a whole nother strategy, which I don't even know yet how to do that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is. And listen, there's no one way to do marketing. There's something that works for you today.
Yeah.
There's something that works for somebody else tomorrow. And literally, like, you could do one thing today, and then 2 months from now it's not going to work anymore. Or somebody else might do the same thing that you did and it's a total failure. So I know there are a lot of people out there that say you have to do this or you can only do this. And simply that's not true. Marketers at our heart, we test everything. Does
Mm,
this work? Does that work? Does this work better? And while we're talking about Facebook ads, I want to say something else that I think is something that's a blind spot for a lot of people. A lot of people are always trying to spend the least money as possible. And so they're like, how much do I have to spend on these ads? One of my coaches said this, and I'll never forget it. He said, no, the question is, how much can you afford to spend? And
mm.
what he meant by that was he would spend as much money as he had
Ooh.
because he knows there's a return on it. That shadows my story a little bit. The first time I spent $500 in Facebook ads, I almost like, fell on the floor. I got that little message from Facebook that said, hey, we just took money out of your account. Now, it didn't say that. It said, it's your month time to pay, whatever. But it felt like they were snatching money from my account.
Yeah.
And I shut the ads down, Sequoia.
Oh
And,
no.
my coach said, well, why'd you do it? I said, they took $500 out of my account. And I was so glad back then. This was before Zoom was like a big thing. So he couldn't see my neck roll and all the attitude that I had. And he said, well, how much money did you make? And I said, oh, let me check.
Mm.
And, I spent $500 over a 2-week period of time. And I ended up booking 2 clients for a total of $8,500.
Win? Can
Yeah,
I
yeah,
say a win return on investment?
exactly. And that's when I understood. I said, oh,
Mm.
now, because those are people who had never heard me before in my life. And
Wow.
all of a sudden, I got one person that paid 3,000, and another person that paid in full for a 5,500. Right?
Dang.
Two
See?
weeks. And
See?
ever since then, I have never done below $10,000 a month in my business.
Dang. I mean, that's a big deal
Oh yeah.
because, I said to myself, I'm going to use myself as a guinea pig, that I was going to start coaching because I'm in tech. So I was like, let
Hmm.
me just help people find tech work or just help them navigate through AI and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because those things I know how to do, data integration, stuff like that. But then I
Uh-huh.
said, oh man, I got to run ads for that. And I already got my card game. So I was like, I don't want to run ads for both. But I said, Sequoia, you do know that you can actually get 2 clients and be good because I'm simply just coaching. I'm not, because I don't have the team to actually go in
Hmm.
and be like doing the work and doing their ads for them. Not right now. I said, I'll show you how to get to the ad and how to do it yourself, or they got to come to someone like you, or because you
Uh-huh.
might do the ads for them, or certain marketing companies do the ads
Yeah.
for them. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I think that's what people understand. They got to bet on themselves, right? They got to
Absolutely.
believe.
Yeah. Well, believe it, and it's all about understanding how marketing works. I think, and I don't know if it's our culture. Actually, I do. I think it's some of our culture, right, where we're so used to everything being word of mouth and referrals, and we have this ingrained to us is that, okay, we're so good at what we do that we shouldn't have to pay for advertising.
Hmm.
People that are making money don't think that way. They're
They do not.
thinking. What can I invest so I can move faster? And we're steady trying to, well, I just need one more referral and I'm going to go to this networking event and I'm going to see if so and so can mention me. And it's so slow. And it's one of the,
Slow.
yeah, and it's one of the reasons why when you look at the stats that people of color, we usually have one person businesses.
Hmm.
We can't scale fast enough to actually bring in other people and hire people. So we stay very, very small. And
Yep.
you've got these other folks that are out there and they're building a team and they're hitting 6 and 7 figures really fast. And we're slowly climbing up the rough side of the mountain because
Yep.
we don't need no marketing. We don't need no advertising.
I heard. Yep.
You don't have to do it that way.
I concur because and I do want to say the black community is like that. Now, when I talk to other races, they
Mhm.
done dropped 1,000, they done dropped 2 grand, and that's why they not working a regular job more often. And
Mhm.
it's like we're like, no, we gotta hold on to the dollar. But I'll go get that Jordans though. I'll go get those Jordans. But I'm
Exactly.
a hold on because I gotta retire, and and it's okay to save money for retirement, but it's also not guaranteed. We don't know if we're going to get to 60. We don't know. So if you want to live your life now, have a fruitful
Mhm.
life, just try to save up, put in that investment.
Yeah.
It's organic is not it all the time.
It's not it. And then listen, we talk about a combination, right? You got to have balance,
Balance.
but I see it all the time where people are like, I'm trying to get clients fast. So are you going to invest in ads? No, I'm going to do everything organic. And I'm like, well, how many people are you going to talk to a week? And well, I'm going to talk to, I got these 3 people. And I'm like, but you need 5 clients. Right?
Yeah, like,
And I'm doing the math. Math don't math that way,
yeah, math not mathing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, you can't go to your friends, like you said, and your cousins and be posting to them all day. They're going to get tired. They're going to unfollow you. I'm like, Shaniqua doing that again. Bye. You got to go to people
Yeah.
you don't know and push it. And that's the thing. So, yeah, that's why I started this podcast because I want to show people the truth, different
Yeah.
ways to get there, you know. And
Mhm.
so, what what books would you recommend to someone that is trying to become an entrepreneur or just
Ah.
marketing?
Oh my goodness, there's so much good stuff. And I
It's so
love
many.
books. So I'll tell you about the ones that I'm reading, right now, the ones that have really, really helped me. One was called Ready, Fire, Aim,
Ready,
right?
fire, aim.
Yeah, and he talks about, how, people spend all this time trying to get things right when, you've got to move at the speed of things and you've got to iterate in that. So that was a really great book. Fanatical Prospecting is another one that really, really helped me understand how to prospect because a lot of people think it's prospecting and sales. It ain't happening.
Mm.
I'm going to plug my book. So I got a couple of books out there. One is called
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Don't Forget Your Time. And it's more about the inside stuff. But that's a huge thing for a lot of people, like not feeling like an imposter or, being able to have confidence in what you do because confidence will close a sale, faster than anything. A lack of confidence will also kill a sale, right?
Mhm.
And then we're working on a book called Quiz and Grow Rich, because
Ooh,
we use quizzes in our marketing, and that was a game changer for us. I used one quiz, and that was that Facebook ad strategy that I was talking about before.
yeah.
I used that one quiz and one Facebook ad to generate 9,000 leads in 4 months.
Okay, I gotta get that book.
It's coming out. It's coming out, and it's in the
I'm
next
looking forward.
45 days. But yeah, Quiz and Grow Rich. And it's about the strategy, that I use and how we've been doing that same thing for our clients, helping them generate leads using quizzes because people want something interactive.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, because it's so confusing to know which direction to go. Like, videos, are you gonna do videos to run ads with? Or, you just gotta
Mhm.
find that thing. And sometimes the cartoon videos can be kind of fun too.
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
just finding that good I guess what works for the person.
Mhm.
So, one of my other questions is, so as far as like marketing, right? Like I keep seeing people on LinkedIn and they're saying, okay, I post 10 times a day on LinkedIn to get my clients or whatever they say, and they start at 4:30 and stuff. Do you think LinkedIn is a great place to like, get some more leads, especially if you're coaching or
Oh,
you have a business?
absolutely. Absolutely. It's about knowing who your audience is and having a real plan to connect with them. Even with LinkedIn and just like with any social media platform, you've got to be intentional. And
Hmm.
what doesn't work on any platform is these mass blasts that people do. I'm just going to throw stuff out there and I'm going to hope that people see it. I'm going to pray to the social media algorithm gods, right? That they
Yeah.
show my stuff to people. There's strategies on each platform that you can use to really connect with people. Make your content visible, but you've got to have a strategy for who you're connecting with. And you've got to have a strategy for reaching out to them directly because at the end of the day, people do business with other people. So you have to find a
Yes.
way to connect.
And do you believe people should create a page on LinkedIn, like their own business page?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Because I know when I'm going to look, when I go, first of all, LinkedIn is SEO friendly, right? So
Mm.
if somebody is searching for you on Google Space, right, and your
Yeah.
LinkedIn stuff will come up because it's SEO friendly, right? And so if they find that on LinkedIn, and when I look at people on LinkedIn, I'm going to go look at their things. I'm going to go look at their content. I'm going to know. I want to see who they're connected to. I want to see who else they're recommended with, right? I'm going to look at all of those things. So yes, have as much visibility as you can. If your clients are on LinkedIn, you need to be spending some time there.
Yeah, I agree. I got jobs from LinkedIn. I get connections. LinkedIn has been my source. Like Facebook and Instagram are just
Mhm.
for my business, the marketing stuff. But LinkedIn is like the boss, like of the boss. Like it's my favorite site. But you'd be
Uh-huh.
surprised how many people, especially in our community, do not know about LinkedIn. I'd
Yeah.
be like, yeah, so I'm on LinkedIn. What's a LinkedIn? I'm like, oh no, what are you doing? Get on LinkedIn. It's because
Yeah.
a lot of these people are entrepreneurs and, they're like, well, I don't want people to know much about me. I'm like, but you got a business and, or if you need a job, you have to there's a way to stay quiet, but yet put yourself out there. Like you don't have to, they only know what you tell them.
Mhm.
And I think,
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay to have LinkedIn, and it's how you keep jobs. That's how you find jobs. That's how you build the connection to get a job if the person's looking for a job. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think,
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, there are a lot of people that are hiding in plain sight, you know? And so like they're there, but nobody knows how to find them because they don't do anything to optimize their profiles. They don't do anything to make themselves visible. And then I see what will happen is they'll have a Facebook profile and well, I don't get any business from it. Well, you're not really marketing it. You just had a profile. Or I have a LinkedIn account, but I don't get any business from it. Well, did you reach out to anybody? No, I just created a page. You don't even have your picture on your page. You're just like a gray blob and your
oh
name,
no,
right? And no information about your business, about what you do. But I'm on LinkedIn. Like, not really.
oh God, see, and that's why coaches and stuff are so needed because people really be like, they just gonna come to me. No, we got to put some stuff there for them to make them come. You're right on that. And I know LinkedIn started the lead generation thing, but someone said it's like highly expensive. So I still would think Facebook is still better to
Hmm.
to lead generation for lead generation than LinkedIn.
It depends on who your audience is. Like
That's true.
if you're B2C, right? Of course, you might find more people on Facebook and Instagram. But if you're B2B, right? First of all, if you're talking to somebody who's a C-suite executive or HR or somebody who's making a buy decision, they're not on Facebook trying to do business. They're on Facebook looking at reels and letting their hair down and relaxing. So they're not going to respond to your business stuff on Facebook because that's not what they do there. But and
Yeah.
the other thing to think about is if you're B2B, a lot of corporate companies they ban Facebook. You cannot get on Facebook or Instagram, but you can get on LinkedIn. So your
Mhm.
people are there. It really depends on like knowing who your audience is and knowing where they like to spend time.
And that's the key. And that's what your company offers too, that strategic plan and do you guys also do the ads for the
We
customers as well?
do. Yeah, we do.
Oh,
We're
that's
focused
good.
we focus on lead generation. 68% of marketers and 68% of entrepreneurs say that generating leads is their biggest issue. Right. So if you for your audience, if they're listening and they've been struggling with this, like, why is it so hard? Listen, it's not just you. 68% of the people that are in this space are struggling to get leads. And
Yeah.
so we focus all of our funnels and all of our content and all of our ads on helping our clients get qualified leads every single month.
That's amazing. This is exciting because this is the thing. If you guys have a skill set or knowledge set, come on now, hit up your girl Ty if you don't want to research it yourself. research yourself and get on it, because there's ways to make the income you're looking for and to live a good life. A lot of
Yeah.
people are trying to get out their job, and that goes
Mhm.
into mental illness. A lot of a lot of people, they're doing this while they have a regular job. They're trying to get their business off the
Mhm.
ground, and then they got kids and stuff. I don't have any children, but there's
Mhm.
a lot of people I know with children, and they're like, break it, I don't know, I can't post every day, I don't know what to post, it's like, how does one find that balance
Yeah.
to.
Well, we have a membership program called the Leads Lab, and it's specifically, like I said, we're showing people all the different strategies they can use to get leads. And one of the things that we give them is a social media and email calendar, right? So I'm really big on helping people create a repeatable system so they can have predictable income every single month. And part of that means like we're giving you the tools and the script so that you're not starting from scratch. Because I know that's like I launched my business while I was working, and so I know what it's like to not have the time to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning working on your website, right? Or to only be able to see clients on a Saturday morning or after 8 o'clock. I know what that feels like. And I know the pain of being distracted with a day job, right? Because what you really want to do is all this other stuff, but you got to go to that day job or you got to do that
Mhm.
work with your day job. And so I know what that's like. And I also know that it's possible. I walked away from my last day job 6 years ago.
Oh man, amen.
And Sequoia, I will not tell you. I mean, I've been working since I was 15. I'm only 20 now, but
Yeah, yeah, you
yeah,
20,
that's right.
it's all
That's right.
right.
But it was the first time in my adult life, actually my entire life, that I walked away from a job and I did not have a backup plan. I didn't have another business. I didn't have another job lined up. I didn't even have a resume, Sequoia, when I
Dang.
walked out. I had a little small severance package, but I was determined that I was going to, work. And I told my husband at the time, I said, I will eat ramen noodles every day for 2 years before I go back to a day job. It's been 6 years. We've been at multiple six figures for the last 3 years in our business. So it is 100% possible, right, to not just replace your income, but to surpass your income that you had at your day job.
That's what I'm talking about. See, and you had the right mindset too, because a stinking mindset could mess up your dream. Because rather you believe your spiritual believe manifestation or not, whatever you're thinking about, it's gonna happen. So if you're saying, "Oh, I kind of want this," and you quit your job and you kind of want it, well, you're gonna get a kind of result. But if you say, "I want this bad as I want to breathe," I'll eat ramen noodles, and get this thing off the ground, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
make it happen. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you got to get a loan, whatever you got to do to get the ad started off, to get that lead fast, because
Yeah.
you might have children, you got to go fast. That's fine, but doing it that way, I just feel like it guarantees more success. Having the mindset,
Mm-hmm.
having the strategy, boom, it's over. That is, man, that's so amazing. I'm so happy for you. Um, so what I was there was another thing I was going to talk to you about, because I had a few topics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to remember what the other topic was. Look, when you were working since 6 a.m. and then I was like, and like my mind went like, what was I gonna say? So, but basically, what do you think about the YouTube shorts and the TikTok shorts? And
Uh-huh.
like, do you think that that's still good? Well, I know it depends on the strategy, but what are
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts on the shorts, the YouTube shorts and TikTok shorts?
So listen, I'm addicted to them. I don't know if I use them for business as much as I do for pleasure. But it's depending on your offer, depending on your products. If you've got a product based line, you're going to want to use some of that. If you're just trying to get visibility and grow your reach, you're going to use those platforms. It really depends on where your audience is. If your audience watches video, fantastic. You need to be in a space where you can provide some video content to your audience. So I think the reels are great. I think people also have to remember that not everybody likes video, you know.
True.
So you kind of have to, like, I watch their shorts and that kind of stuff, because the videos and that kind of stuff, because I'm usually using it for entertainment purposes and that kind of stuff. But I'm not a real video person, and it's because
Uh,
I'm one of those nerds that reads faster than people can talk.
mm.
So when I do watch video, I'm speeding it up to like 2.5. I'm like,
Oh
hurry, this is
dang.
great, but I read faster than I hear. And that's just one of my learning style. That's my preferred learning style. So, knowing your audience, do they prefer video or do they want to read? Do they prefer
Mm.
audio? Not everybody listens to podcasts, right?
Yeah, that's true. When I started podcasting, I just kept it straight, audio because I'm an
Mhm.
introvert, believe it or not. And that's what I was
Yeah.
going to ask you earlier. And then I lost my
Mhm.
train of thought. What do you say to introverted people like me? Like, I got over it. I just
Uh-huh.
start, if I mess up, I don't care anymore. But when
Yeah.
I, but some people are still at the stage of where I
Mhm.
was, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want to show myself because, whatever,
Well, I
you
want to
know?
clarify. I'm an introvert. And people say,
Oh,
no,
wow.
you're not. Yes, I am. And I think people get the definition of introvert wrong. Introvert does not mean I'm shy.
Mm,
Not at all. But it does mean that after a certain amount of time, I don't want to be peopled. I don't want to talk to nobody. It drains my energy. So, for example, Sequoia, if you ask me, hey, Ty, you want to go such and such a place? My question is, how long do we have to stay?
mine's too. I'm not going to
Right?
lie.
Yeah, because after 2 hours, I don't want to talk to no people. And even in my business, I've designed my business where I've got a break in the middle. Monday and Tuesday, you can book a call with me. Thursday and Friday, you can book a call. You can't book a call on Wednesday because I'm peopled out. And I know that about myself, right? So
Oh,
it's
yep.
not about introvert. And I hear people say that all the time. I'm an introvert. No, you're shy or you're afraid of rejection or you just don't, you don't like talking to people. And that is
Yeah.
not being an introvert. That's just some other stuff that I'm gonna give you the hard truth. You gotta get over that stuff. I was gonna curse, but I don't know if I
Yeah.
can curse on
Oh, well,
you.
my show, look, if anything happens, I have people curse on my show before.
Yeah, like get over that shit seriously. Because here's the
Yeah.
thing, and I was just writing this morning in my journal. Because I do a lot of deep introspective. I'm very intuitive, and I take that same message to give to my clients. And one of the things that we've got to get over is we misinterpret being uncomfortable as our intuition telling us not to do something,
Mm.
and that's not true. And let me give you an example. How many of us have gone on a date with somebody? Our gut was like, oh, I don't know, but he was fine or she was fine, and the energy and the chemistry was there. But your gut was like, oh, but you did it anyway, right?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
there's a difference between your intuition and your emotions. And a
Mm.
lot of people make their business decisions based on emotions. Well, I don't want to be on camera. That's your emotion talking. You want to make
Yeah.
6 figures, get your butt in front of the camera and get over yourself.
Yeah, you gotta get over yourself.
Right. But we do that all the time. Well, I want to be authentic. Authentic is different from your emotions. Just because you don't like going to networking events, that's not you being authentic by not showing up. you know, if you made a decision to be a 7-figure entrepreneur, but you're saying, I don't want to network with anybody, sis, ain't gonna happen. You're gonna have to
Mm.
do it. So we have
Yeah.
to make that distinction between your emotions,
Mm.
right? And what intuitively align with who you are.
Boom, you got it. And I think that's the thing that happened with me. It was like, okay, I'm supposed to do this. I'm drawn. So I had no choice but to do it. I can't be in my emotions and be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, well, I might do this wrong or that. But just do it. Just get up here and talk. And
Yeah.
that's what I try to motivate people to do. And as well as
Mhm.
imposter syndrome, because being in tech for over 6 years, you hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, I got imposter syndrome and stuff."
Yeah.
And at first, I said, "What is that?" I mean, somebody can always do something and think they're not doing it right. I mean, that's
Mhm.
natural, but it's like you're just insecure. It's not really. I don't believe in imposter syndrome. I had to
Mhm.
think about it for a long time, and I said, I just. I just don't believe it. You're there because you're there for a reason. You got hired
Mhm.
for a reason. You're not gonna know everything. A lot
Yeah.
of people don't know everything in these in this industry. You think they do, but they don't know everything. So you're
Yeah.
really just it's just more confidence, like you said earlier. They come off more confident than you.
Mhm.
They can say
Yeah.
something totally wrong, but because they got the confidence, it sounded so good, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. And listen, confidence, and here's something I think is interesting too. I think people think they're just supposed to be naturally confident.
Mm-mm.
You can learn that. One of my favorite sayings, we got some shirts that we're putting together on this, but one of my favorite sayings is practice makes profit. You're not confident because you're not practicing. Think
Mm.
about this. And I'll tell a little bit story. When I first got my driver's license, I remember the first night this guy took me on the highway at night. It was my first driving lesson. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I remember what that feeling was like. Now you put me in the car, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how I got from point A to point B. I just got home. Right?
Yep.
I was in the car. I was listening to, Spotify. I was listening to a book. I was doing this before you know it, I'm home. I don't even think about it anymore. Why? Because I've got practice driving. And it's the same
Yes.
thing with the things that make you uncomfortable now. The first time you do it, it's going to make you uncomfortable as shit.
Man,
And listen, we're human and it's okay,
it's
right?
okay.
But you got to keep practicing, and practicing is what's going to make you profit.
I concur on that because the other day I started learning how to mix my own music because I was getting
Ooh.
irritated. So y'all, I mean, I want to mix a certain way, and
Uh-huh.
you're not understanding what I'm trying to do because I'm out of the box with everything I do. So I said to myself, I got to figure out how to mix it. Stop being a punk. You a slave to what you don't know. That's what David Banner said the other
Mm.
day on the podcast. You a slave to what you don't know. And I said I don't want to be a slave to what I don't know. I set my butt down and figured it out. Went through a tutorial because YouTube is your university. You got everything on there, and
Yeah.
I made a really good mix.
All
And I
right.
said, why was I so uncomfortable paying these people? And I'm not saying you can't pay someone for extra help, but
Right.
if you can't find them for some reason because they don't understand your vision, at least
Mhm.
you can execute it because you are your own label. You're not with a label. So you can do what you want to do. You can put out whatever you want. And that's the fruits of being an independent artist. So I was like, when I figured that out, I was like, yo, what was I tripping about? I was like, I was
Mm.
tripping. And
Well,
now it feel more comfortable.
well, I'll tell you one more thing with that, and we say this all the time: you can't delegate what you don't understand. And
Mm,
that's what you were experiencing, right? So it's hard to
yeah.
delegate and tell somebody exactly what you want when you're not really. I don't know how it works, but now that you know how it works, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is it. You can clearly communicate that when you're ready.
Yeah.
But you had to have that experience. And it's the same thing with marketing, right? You might have to take some classes. Like I said, we have the Leads Lab, learn how to market so that when you're ready to hire, you know what it's supposed to look like and feel like, and you're not at the mercy of other people.
Facts. Ooh, yes. It's like an accountant. You heard all these stories about the rapper saying they stole my money and I didn't know. Man, you a slave to what you don't know. We gotta know our finances. We gotta know exactly what's
Mhm.
going on. That's why I'm about to take me a tax class because, I'm trying to make sure I'm on point. You
Uh-huh.
gotta know because you can't just depend on them. And so I love it.
Yeah.
Um, so before we wrap everything up, because it's
Mhm.
almost getting close to that time, I'm having a lot of fun with you. Uh, what would you say to your 18-year-old self?
Oh my goodness. What would I say to my 18-year-old self? Ask for what you want,
Mm.
not what you think you can get.
I like that. Ask for what you want, not what
Yeah.
you think you can get.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
I mean, we
that.
do that to ourselves. I do that in corporate. Like I started out as a career coach. And I remember when I would work with people, I would say, well, what's the salary you want? And they would add up their bills and they would put a little bit of money in there for spending and savings. And they say, well, this is what I want.
Mm,
I'm like, yeah, but the job that you're trying to go for is like $70,000, but you're looking at your bill saying that you only need $40,000, and you're wondering why you're underpaid.
see? Yep.
And I
You
did that.
manifested that.
I did that for a long time, right? I asked for
Mm.
what I thought I could get instead of what I really wanted. Right?
Yep. That was an aha moment.
Yeah, an example of that happening. I was at a job. I loved this job that I was at. I had no plans on leaving. This company was recruiting me, and my boss. I had a really great relationship with my boss. He was an amazing black man to work for, and he said, "Oh, you should go to the interview and just check it out." So I
Mm,
went to the interview. I wasn't super impressed. On my way back from the interview, the recruiter called me and said they want to make you an offer. Said,
mm.
"What do you want for your salary?" It's like, all right, $98,000. He said, okay. I, I was like, huh? Right? Because I was only making like 60, I think I was only making like 74,000, right?
Mm.
And the company that I was with had just gotten like a $19,000 bonus, which I didn't even know was possible, right?
Dang.
And so I was like, well, I think I meant $98,000. Cause I'm like, dang, he was like, okay. Didn't even have to go back to them, right?
Dang.
And I was like, oh, see, but asking for what I thought I could get
Hmm.
instead of what I wanted, because what I really wanted was a six-figure thing. But if I
Yes.
asked for that, see what I'm saying? But I'm just sharing that as an example because
Yeah.
we undersell ourselves, we undervalue the worth that we have. And so we
Seriously.
ask for what we think we can get instead of being intentional and clear about what we really, really want.
I love that, and that goes for all aspects in life, dating,
Mhm.
everything, like,
Oh, yes, dating for
'cause
sure.
that's another big topic. By the way, check out my dating card game, y'all, Dating Assassins. But,
Oh,
but the little shameless plug,
love it.
but but yeah, so, where can people hit you up work with you and
Mhm.
follow you and support you?
Yeah, well, all over the internet, all over the interwebs, you can find me at Tai Goodwin, Tai Goodwin. You can find me on all the platforms there. We actually do a class called the Leads Workshop, where we're teaching people about how to create a stress-free client attraction system. All right,
Mm.
and we do that every week or every other week. So if you go to the Leads Workshop, you can sign up for the next one. But that's the best way to get a sample of what we do.
Oh, nice. I might sign up for that because that's cool. That's exciting. Well,
Mhm.
thanks for coming on here today. I'm sure my audience got mad gems, and I even got gems. I'm always getting gems. I'm grateful. I love this job. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please subscribe, share if you care.